Hello everyone, this is Kerry and hope you all doing well. In today's video, I'll be talking about pros and cons of 5 intermittent fasting methods. So if you like the video related to turtle health, I would like to request you all, please do subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon or give thumbs up so that I will come up with more and more videos with lots and lots of information. So here we begin, let's go. Pros and cons of 5 intermittent fasting methods. So intermittent fasting has been one of the most popular health trends of the past decade. Some people swear by the eating pattern, finding that it helps manage their appetite and weight and to support optimal health. Nevertheless, intermittent fasting might not be right for everyone, either for medical reason or because it doesn't match their picture of a nutritious and sustainable diet. So this video takes a closer look at some of the most popular ways to do intermittent fasting, as well as a few pros and cons. The information may help you decide if intermittent fasting is something you want to try for your health and happiness. So the warnings are: intermittent fasting is generally considered safe. However, it is best to use caution when beginning or following the eating routine. Restricting your calorie intake for an extended period of time could be dangerous for children and adolescents, people who are pregnant or breastfeeding, people who have diabetes, people taking certain medication, people with a history of eating disorder before embarking on intermittent fasting or making or any other drastic changes to your diet. So now I'll be talking about what is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the eating pattern during which you refrain from consuming any calories for an extended period of time. Usually, this period lasts between 12 and 40 hours. Water, coffee, and other calorie-free beverages are allowed during the fast, but no solid food or calorie-containing drinks are permitted. For example, if you finished your dinner at 7 p.m. Monday and don't eat again until 7 p.m. Tuesday, you have completed a 24-hour fast. Some people choose to fast from breakfast to breakfast or lunch to lunch, but which time frame works the best depends on the individual. A full 24-hour fast every day can seem extreme and may be difficult for many people to maintain, so it's usually not recommended for beginners. However, you don't have to go all in right away, and many intermittent fasting routines start with shorter fasting periods. Here are 5 of the most popular eating patterns for adding intermittent fasting to your diet. Time restricted eating involve fasting every day for 12 hours or longer and eating in the remaining hours. A popular example is the 16 and 8 method. It features a daily 16-hour fast and an 8-hour eating window, wherein you can fit in 2 to 3 or more meals. The 5:2 diet. The 5:2 involves eating as you normally do 5 days of the week and restricting your calorie intake 5 to 600 on the remaining 2 days. Each stop eat involves a 24-hour fast once or twice per week. Then alternate day fasting. With alternate day fasting, the goal is to fast every other day. The warrior diet. The warrior diet was among the fast popular diet to include a form of intermittent fasting. It involves eating small amount of raw fruits and vegetables during the day and eating one large meal at night. Now, the 3 pros of intermittent fasting. Researchers have already linked numerous health benefits with intermittent fasting and continue to examine them. Plus, for some people, intermittent fasting fits well into their model of a health and sustainable long-term diet. If you are wondering if intermittent fasting could be right for you, here are a few benefits that might pique your interest. So the very first one might support weight loss and improve metabolic health. 2 main reasons why people try intermittent fasting are to manage their weight and metabolic health. Metabolic health is a marker of how well the body processes or metabolizes energy. It often measured by blood pressure, blood sugar, and blood fat level. Fasting or abstaining from food can create a calorie deficit, meaning that your body has fewer calories than it needs to maintain its current weight. That's why diets that rely on calorie restriction, like fasting, are the hallmark of most weight loss diet. Research shows that some types of intermittent fasting can be as effective for weight loss, though not necessarily more effective as other diets that also rely on limiting your daily calorie intake. Time restricted eating routine, similar to the 16 5-8 method are one type of intermittent fasting that has been linked directly with weight loss. Alternate day fasting and the 5:2 diet may also be effective. Besides naturally eliminating your calorie intake during the fasting period, intermittent fasting may support weight loss by regulating your appetite to increase feelings of fullness while suppressing feelings of hunger. The eating pattern has also been linked with other improvements in health, such as lowering blood pressure, improving blood sugar, repairing damaged cells, protecting brain health. Now, the second part can be a sustainable lifestyle change. Intermittent fasting might sound complicated and intimidating, but it can be simple at times. In fact, you might even find that fasting helps simplify your diet since you need to plan fewer meals. What's more, it doesn't typically require calorie counting, watching your macros, eating certain food that you might not be used to eating, or eliminating certain food that you otherwise enjoy. For example, having an early dinner followed by a late breakfast the next day is one way to fast intermittently. If you finish your last meal at 8 p.m. and don't eat until noon the next day, you have technically fasted for 16 hours. For people who get hungry in the morning and like to eat breakfast, or for those who can eat until later in the evening due to work schedules and other obligations, this method may be hard to get used to. However, other people instinctively eat this way already. They may be more prone to trying out an intermittent fasting eating pattern. The third one works well with nutritious whole foods diet, because intermittent fasting is focused more on when rather than what you eat. It's generally easy to implement in conjunction with your current diet. You won't necessarily need to buy any special food or diverge much from what you typically eat if you already content with the state of your current diet, but look for other ways to continue boosting your overall health. Fasting might be something you want to explore. For example, intermittent fasting might work particularly well for someone who wants to pair it with a resistance training program and a high protein diet. Still, this is not meant to imply that what you eat doesn't matter. There's no doubt that you will reap the most benefits from intermittent fasting by eating a variety of nutritious food and limiting ultra processed food during an eating window. Then it becoming the 3 cons of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is one way to regulate your calorie intake and work toward improving your metabolic health. Though the eating pattern can certainly be part of a healthy diet, it will likely take some adjusting to in the beginning. Plus, simply put, intermittent fasting is not right for everyone. So here are a few downsides you could encounter when first trying intermittent fasting. The very first one might go against your intuition. Intermittent fasting requires discipline, restraint, and planning ahead. For some people, using those tactics to keep your calorie intake within a designated time frame is no problem, but for others it might feel unnatural at first. This may be especially true if you are used to relying on your intuition to decide when to eat. Further, if you prefer not to follow a strict schedule, you might find intermittent fasting frustrating. What's more, if your schedule trends to vary from day to day because of work, family, or other obligation, keeping your calorie intake to a designated time frame could be a challenging. The second one, you will likely feel hungry. Even an 8 or 12-hour fast might feel like a long time. When you are not used to fasting, you may go to bed hungry several times per week. That may naturally feel unpleasant and unsustainable in the long term. Plus, at times it might be necessary to override your natural hunger and fullness cues in order to not break your fast earlier than planned. This doesn't mean that fasting is not scheduled. You can get used to once you have adjusted to intermittent fasting. You might even find it make you feel less hungry. Many people adjust to the routine, and some even find they enjoy it after a few months. Yet, hunger and frustration are certainly something to expect and be aware of initially. Then it passes to the third part. The side effect could affect your mood. When you first try intermittent fasting, one of the first things you may notice, aside from feeling more hungry, is ups and downs in your mood. This is understandable. Besides initially increasing hunger level, fasting can have side effects including headache, constipation, fatigue, sleep disturbance, and more. What's more, irritability and anxiety are classic symptoms of low blood sugar level. This is a common bodily response to fasting or restricting calories. Still, like hunger, your emotional well-being may be another side effect of intermittent fasting that will improve with time and practice. Once you have had time to adjust, intermittent fasting may even bring you a sense of achievement or pride. The bottom line is intermittent fasting is the weight loss tool that works for some people but not for everyone. It's not recommended for individuals who once had or currently have an eating disorder. It may also be unsuitable for children, people with underlying health conditions, and people who are pregnant or breastfeeding. If you decide to try intermittent fasting, remember that just like with any eating pattern, diet quality is the key. To gain the most from intermittent fasting, be sure to eat a variety of nutrient-dense whole food during your eating window and limit ultra-processed food. Furthermore, before embarking or in intermittent fast, be sure to consult a trained healthcare professional to ensure that it's safe for you to do so. That's all about the intermittent fasting in this video. I hope you really loved it. I'll definitely come in the next video with my another content. Till then, God bless you. Bye bye and take care.